enlightenment, the great cosmic joke. Yes, you are already enlightened, and that is the absolute truth. So why seek enlightenment? And seeking enlightenment is for the fool. You know, it's like a bird who is looking to fly and say, where is the air? Where is the sky? Enlightenment is the same, beloved, because you see, this is where the big confusion comes, is there is absolute truth. Absolute truth is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, and it's eternal, and it's immortal, it's infinite. Like there's certain law of the universe, like cause and effect and the law of attraction. So it's absolute truth. It's permanent. It will never change. It's omnipotent. So the absolute truth is we all are, in this very present moment, we are enlightened because we are true spirit. It's our true nature to be enlightened. I remember all my spiritual journey, my own awakening was always the big confusion that I was seeing all the time. I even see it with my own follower, and it's always that confusion between absolute truth and the relative truth. So let's explain relative truth. Relative truth is in direct correlation with another in a relationship. It's related to on the physical. So relative truth is, the truth is we are not enlightened per se. Let me rephrase that. What Devi Ma means is that people who accumulate conditioning, a lot of baggage, and most people do, actually, it's universal. And so that's the nature for human being with ego and mind to constantly being conditioned, brainwash, accumulation. You see, it's in relationship to something else. So this is the relative truth that human beings have been conditioned to, either from dysfunctional family, from social media, or government or authority, whatever there is on the physical realm. We live in a realm of duality, and we live in a realm where we constantly are dealing with relative truth. So the relative truth is, one of them is, most people grew up in a dysfunctional family, so therefore they accumulate so much garbage, and the karmic structure is so low. And so then that's why ultimately people are living in suffering and in misery and some emotional pain, because they haven't got rid of all the garbage, because that's the nature of the physical realm. There is duality, and yet the absolute truth is we all are interconnected by one web. It's like a universal web, like a spider web, all interconnected by one source. And there is no absolute separation between all of us. And to experience that deep down and that non-dualistic experience of oneness is rare for most people. Even though, if you look at great Maharishi, Ramana Maharishi, beautiful reverence, deep reverence for this master, about who brought the path of self-inquiry. Self-inquiry directly to the source is a very hard thing for most people, because the nature of the physical realm is to live in relative truth, is to live bombarded by all the karmic structure you're carrying, by your personality, asmita, by your mind, by all the samskara, the impression, the vasana, the tendency, the conditioning, the accumulation. All of that is a big load that you're carrying. So to be able to transcend into self-inquiry and to be feeling in that moment your true nature is very hard. It's a beautiful path, but it's hard for most human beings, because most human beings, you know that, aren't you caught in your mind all the time, the jabbering of your mind? Most people are what we call the mental body. To transcend, you must transcend the physical body, the mental body, the manomaya kosha, and then the pranic maya kosha. So when you start transcending that, you can really tap into even beyond the vishvaya maya kosha, the etheric body, to really go into the bliss body. So self-inquiry, to go tap to the source, to go straight to the cosmic mind, is very challenging, you see, because you got to transcend all those envelopes, what we call in the yogic tradition, the Maya Kosha, their sheet. Devi Ma says it's not impossible, it is possible. But for most people, it's very hard. You might get a glimpse of it, and that's so beautiful, but it's hard. So enlightenment doesn't happen like a big bang. If you look, for example, at a seed, you plant a seed of a peach tree, right? And you've seen the sprout growing. And then there's a little plant growing with the right condition, the right element, because everything has cause and effect. The condition has to be there for the sprout to grow, and the right amount of protection. And as it grows, the condition has to change. Too much sunlight, too much rain, or not enough rain, or too much protection from the element could hamper the plant. So then the trees start growing and growing and growing, and with the right condition, the right effect, cause and effect, the right amount of sunlight. Too much sunlight could completely burn out the tree, the new plant. Or too much rain will completely destroy it. So as it grow and grow and grow, it's like the spiritual unfoldment on your journey on the spiritual path. And then it unfold and it finds some obstacle, overcome it, and grow, and then become a tree. See how long it takes. It's a process. And then suddenly flowers comes. And in a different season, then you'll start seeing little fruits starting to grow, for it to finally bring that sweetness in the peach. I love peach. It's such a delicious fruit, and especially when they're ripe, they're so delicious. So, but it's a long journey from a seed to become a peach, and it's the same for enlightenment, for this unfoldment. So Devi Ma always say, in a way, yes, enlightenment is the greatest joke, cosmic joke, because ultimately within our own spirit, our own being, we all really are enlightened. That's our true nature. But when we come in the physical realm, we're facing relative truth. We're facing duality. Because, one important part, the duality we experience in the physical realm is how we experience this world. How can you know from love to hatred or good to bad? You see, beloved? So if you look around, all around, we see duality all over. As a matter of fact, some countries experience extreme duality, like in India, for instance. If you haven't gone to India yet, I highly recommend. That is a phenomenal experience because you will see extreme duality there. And it's necessary. The world in the physical realm, without the relative truth and without the duality of opposite, that's what keeps the physical realm. It keeps it alive and manifesting. Without it, it would collapse. That's how things are into existence in the physical realm. And yet, the absolute truth at the very core of who we are, our true essence of who we are, is that there is nothing that needs to be done. Because the bird is out of the cage and can fly and is free. And it is our true nature to be free and infinite and abundant and a complete expansion of consciousness with no limitation, with no duality, no separation. Because ultimately, this is the challenge human beings have here on earth, is to come back to that present moment and to experience their true nature. And because of the karmic structure that most people have, the bag they carry, it's almost impossible. Not impossible, but almost for most people. And it requires sadhana, a lot of kriya yoga and meditation and mindful practices. There are many, many ways to go back to your true nature. And for some other who comes honored, who are a lot more evolved, who don't have so much of a karmic structure, might be easier. You see, Ramana Maharishi, he was already living into his own divine presence, already enlightened. So without doing anything, it was easy for him. But try to sit there forever, for weeks and weeks on and on, and just to be in your divine presence, to close your eyes and do nothing, be nothing. Your ego and your mind is not going to allow you, for most people. But the point of this, beloved, don't seek enlightenment, because ultimately you know it's there. All you have to do is just get rid of garbage. That's all. It's like peeling an onion, it's been used, actually, I believe that example in the Buddhism language, it's like layer after layer. And this has been my experience, that enlightenment is not a big bang. It is really a dissolution of identification, and it's a process. It varies from person to person, again, depending on the condition. So many conditions. Not every peach tree will grow the same way, where they planted, how they were planted, in which climate they are in, what kind of soil, what kind of sunlight, what kind of nutrient. So it depends on your karmic structure. It will depend on the kind of sadhana you do. It could depend on the kind of spirit you are. So many condition. The best thing is don't worry about any of this. Just be in a state of abandonment and don't seek enlightenment, because when you realize it's a joke, it's the great cosmic joke, you just go back within yourself and just enjoy the ride. Just know that your heart is the gateway to God, is the gateway to the divine within yourself. When you enshrine divine love there and you know this is the gateway, if you seek something, don't seek enlightenment, because it can become the biggest obstacle for you. Just chasing enlightenment, it's elusive for most people. Just seek within your heart the shrine of divine love, and you sure are on the right way to experience your divine presence and your own true nature. So how do you know that someone is enlightened? How can you tell? That's a question also often asked. Well, my own experience, from my own, and I speak with tremendous, profound experience of phenomenal spiritual, transcendental, mystical Kundalini ascension. And this was an unfoldment for so many lifetimes. And how could you tell? Well, first of all, you will notice everything change about you, even your physiology change. The eyes, there's such a light, pure light coming from the eyes. Not a light that you see, generally speaking, in most people. It's hard to put into words. A pure light emanating as a divine presence, an energetical feel. There's something unusual, but you cannot tell. You can feel it. The way they speak, what come out, so much wisdom, but their presence, the presence is something that needs to be experienced. It's something, just the whole glow, the aura is different. And it's a state of vairagya, of colorless. It's a state of pure divine light and love. It's a vibrational that you feel. And ultimately is your true nature. So don't seek enlightenment. It's for the fool. Just enjoy the ride and just go make your heart the shrine for the divine. And there you will find divine love, and you'll experience a beautiful journey on your path. And don't worry if you don't have this glimpse of your true presence. It's an unfoldment.